All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Swain Batty League Season 2023. I am 30, and tonight I am joined on the mic by Mitch, aka LCAD. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing well, man. How are you?
I'm doing good. This is an exciting moment in the Swain Batty League regular season. We enter our third and last round robin, and tonight might set the playoff picture.
Absolutely. I know there are a couple of teams that are that have complete control of their own destiny at this point. I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, TSB needs to win both of their matches tonight in order to make the playoffs, and I believe ZSA only needs to win one to secure themselves out of fourth place.
That sounds about right.
Okay.
If the math doesn't check out, it certainly feels like Tizzy and Smash Bros are up against a wall, kind of in the must-win territory, and they're going to start it off tonight, hopefully on the right foot, and pick up a win against Zed Sweaty Asol on the blue side here. Rounding out the first round of bans, Twisted Fate, Cassiopeia, and Zack coming in from Zed Sweaty Asol, and the Asol on the other side going against Phoenix Blaze makes sense.
Honestly, a lot of respect bands going in both directions. The Shen being Bong Crank's best champion. I mean, we did see him perform quite well on the Mundo last week when these two teams played and, kind of succeeded despite a bunch of bands being targeted at him. But respecting the Nautilus out of Joey, respecting the A-Soul that ended up fucking them up out of Phoenix Blaze, you love to see it. However, that means that Wang does get his priority pick on Maokai, which has been, like I said last week, and like I've said every time I've had the opportunity to talk about it, a go-to champion for him, one that he's been able to use very effectively to control the map, and that he is just so incredibly comfortable on.
Yeah, couldn't agree more there. He's picked it twice so far this regular season, both wins, and just last week actually against Tizzy in the Smash Bros. So looking to repeat that same success on the very powerful tank jungler.
Now, one interesting thing that I know the spectator is just showing enemies here, but since we get to see into the pregame lobby, I can tell you that Candy Jack is playing on Tizzy and the Smash Bros. So once again, I think we're going to see Candy Jack in the ADC role, which is why we see the Jinx picked up in the first set of picks for the red side, meaning that Tizzy is going to be playing support once again, and it worked out for them last week when they tried it.
Yeah, that's a very good point to bring up, and yeah, I'm excited to see that success out of this new bottom lane pairing. Tizzy looked a lot more comfortable on support, in all honesty, and Zyra kind of pops off once you get to the end of the game. Ultimate, still very good.
Absolutely. See the Ziggs come out for Phoenix Blaze here. Another
Yep.
pretty good pick for him. Nothing too interesting. And we get the Kaisa over for Respect. The Maokai going to My Wang and the Kaisa going to Respect. You gotta feel really good if you're Zed Sweaty Asol, just getting two of your most comfortable picks on your two strongest players.
Yeah, and it's all going according to the script here for ZSA in this draft. And we see the Ari locked in. So Thrifty Senpai trying it out again. He tried it last week. Unfortunately, got the loss on it. But looking to snowball his team early with this mid lane assassin.
I think a big difference with the Ari in this game versus when Thrifty played it last week is last week he was up against, that was the game where he was up against the Ace Hole, right? And he basically ran out of the ability to ever contest the game. He had a great laning phase. He had pressure early. He was able to do stuff at the beginning of the game, but then just wasn't relevant later on because of how hard the enemy team scaled away from him. So some differences between that game and this game. We've got the Jinx. We've got Candy on the Jinx instead of Tizzy in the ADC role. We have much less of a scaling mid than the Ace Soul. Maybe he feels a little bit more confident in it given the context of everything else that's going around.
Yeah, absolutely here. And okay, well, they banned the Zyra against from Tizzy, but Albino Joe picking up a second target ban against him with the Nami.
Never pick a fight you can't win.
And we see the set coming out for Dario Chopman, just kind of a good pick for him. Them banning the Cho'Gath, I wonder what he is going to go with here, what he's thinking of going with.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting. Let's see. What has he played so far? He's played a lot of different things.
A lot. Ooh, the Alawi.
Alawi.
Ooh. I did see them talking about this in their chat, that this is something they've been thinking about, something they've been practicing, and something that I want to say Tim pointed out that he wanted to see Brandon play. So Interesting to see how this works out. A first for any of the SBL games for them. I guess I don't know how many games he's actually played on it. I should have op.gg up if I was actually any good at my job.
No, I have no idea either, and definitely the first pick of it in SBL, and I mean I'm not gonna say ever, but it's a very rarely played here in the Swain Batty League. And he does pick it blind in the top lane, which is interesting as well. We'll see the last lock in, the last pick overall for ZSA is gonna be Malphite. They did it again. They got the 3 meatball front line and you know reliable scaling damage in mid and a carry for Respect. They did it again.
I think if you are Zed Sweaty you are very happy with how this draft went for you. Again, comfort picks all around. Malphite for Bonkprank just kind of has to press R. I think one thing that you might be able to lean on from Tizzy in the Smash Bros is maybe he's just not, like you mentioned, we haven't seen a lot of the Alawi in really any capacity. Maybe he's really unfamiliar with that matchup. I know, being the piece of shit trash player that I am, the one time I saw Alawi when I played ARAM drunk at 3 a.m., I had literally no idea what to do, and I just kept dying over and over again because it just doesn't make sense as a champion to me.
Yeah, I would agree. I had some experiences against Alawi twice in a row. Two match made games against the same Alawi player. It didn't end well, but let's see what Dario Chauvin can do on it today. I mean, there's a lot more focus. This isn't a solo queue game. There's gonna hopefully be a lot more focus on this top lane, and it might be very early on with my Wang on the Maokai. Very easy ganks.
So I was able to pull up OPGG for Dario Chapin. He's got 5 games recently on Alawi. I mean, that's nothing to sneeze at. That's not, any substantial numbers by any capacity. He does have a 60% win rate, but again, it's 5 games. Who really gives a shit? That's not, that's not substantial numbers. A 2.6 KDA, not too bad, but it seems like something he's lightly been practicing, but I'm curious why they wanted that blind pick prio on that for him.
Yeah, I mean, this is a situation where you maybe just bust something out to really disrupt the enemy team's idea of how to play against you. This is like you were just saying, it's a tough champ to play against. She kind of has her own mini game up in the top lane, and it shapes and forms how you have to play against her. So just looking to maybe add a little bit extra style points tonight, I can respect it.
Absolutely. I think one of the key things we're going to be looking for in this game, especially comparing it to the last game that these two teams played together, is we really, really, really don't want to see First Blood happen at sub 3 minutes again. We really don't want to see the Jinx and Morgana just fall down and get absolutely run the fuck over by the Kai'Sa and Leona. But knowing how Albino Joe plays, knowing how much all-in potential that the Leona and the Kai'Sa have from this very aggressive bottom lane on the side of Zed Sweaty Asol, I am a bit worried for that part of the map again. And I think that if we see a situation where the Kai'Sa gets ahead early, gets First Blood, or even gets a couple early kills, and the Jinx and the Morgana become relatively irrelevant, that they just run away with the game and it doesn't really matter what the rest of the map does, because like you pointed out, they are consistent in how they are designing their teams around Respect, with just big old bodies everywhere else on the map, and then let Respect zoom in, get to the back line, disrupt, be a little void shit on Kai'Sa, and let the rest of the game figure itself out from there.
Yeah, I couldn't really agree more. It's that script has been sort of run over a couple times. I've lost against it. That same idea, the idea, don't let Risquet get early, don't get fed early in the lane. Ah, oh, we did it. Oops, lost the game. Like it's they're just too good at snowballing that advantage out of bottom lane. But to talk a little bit more about the bottom lane matchup, Albino Joe has to pick Leona blind here, so then Tizzy with the ultimate counter pick at the bottom of the draft, Morgana, which is kind of great against Leona and all things considered, right? Black Shield, pretty much any kind of Leona engage, you do have that time to react, whether it's an E or a Solar Flare, the ultimate. So they're gonna have to play pretty safe, but I think they can scrounge out of this laning phase. They might have a game on their hands.
Absolutely. And it's going to be down to execution from Tizzy on the Morgana. Like you mentioned, the Black Shield, the oh my god, what the fuck is the name of this stupid thing that shoots out and stuns him? Why am I blanking right now?
Dark
Binding. Yes,
Yeah.
dark binding. Thank you. My god. See, told you I'm shit at my job. It is going to be on Tizzy to have, it's a little bit of a skill intensive matchup for her, and I know that starting the season she had a lot more practice on the ADC, and she played support previously. I think a lot of it is going to come down to Tizzy's play and if she's able to withstand the onslaught that Respect and Albino Joe are going to be showing in the bottom lane.
Yep. Absolutely here, and we are loaded into the Rift, folks. Game 1, Week 5 Swain Batty League, and Z28 ASL doing something that they usually do here, looking for a pick.
How many times has this actually worked for them? I feel like it hasn't, but I kind of want to caster curse it just to see just to see it happen.
Yeah, and they do the full route through the top side there. They scout out the red, no one there. They're Tizzy and Smash Bros, they're playing this smart. As you can see, Thrifty on the Ari and Daria Chapman, they have not entered that red side quadrant because they know it could be potentially dangerous. And the recall should come through here. Wang opting to maybe start here, but Thrifty's gonna smell it out. Does he lay down a ward, direct the camera, or looking at blue buff?
Director camera really is concerned with blue buff. They're they're like, they're fighting over red. Who actually cares? Let's make sure that we watch this just phenomenal secure of the blue buff. That's what matters.
Yeah. And it looks like he did lay down the ward, so Wang has to do sort of a slow walk back, and he's going to start his own blue without the leash. Work his way down, but he will be a little bit behind here on Cax's Wukong.
Now, Cax's Wukong is one that we've called out previously. We called it out on Batty Breakdown 2 weeks ago as being relatively ineffective, but in their win that they had last week, it was a champion that was actually popping off quite a bit for him. So I'm interested to see if he's going to be able to convert that again into something that's relevant, where his presence is relevant on the map. Especially with Mai Wang and his comfort, again, I keep going back to this, but his comfort with Maokai, he's able to be a constant presence everywhere that he wants to be. He's able to have impact on a lot of different areas of the map, and I think Cax is going to have to show us something to be able to equal the comfort that Wang has there. We see some good trading here between Shopman and Bongcrank, both walking away a little bit low. Notably, Bongcrank does not pop his potion.
Yeah.
Or did he use the charge of it? Oh, there he used the charge of it. All right.
Yeah, and he's still going back in. Ooh. It's getting a little bit spicy in the top lane, which is something that usually happens. But Cax, yeah, he's being the sad monkey, and he saw his red is gone because Wang. I actually got them. They warded. Blue side ward. I thought Thrifty warded, so he just did a double buff blue to red, and then he went back to his Grom, so Cax is going to be without a buff here.
Yep, smart pathing from Wang. And we see exactly what we were talking about out of Candy and Tizzy. Playing safe, playing back. Tizzy's been landing a lot of those dark bindings and has been holding them off a little bit. And they also respected the level 2 spike. It's 3 minutes 33. They're still alive. They've done it. That's it.
They're doing it. Yeah, this is good. They are on track to escape the laning phase without giving up too many deaths.
We see some really aggressive trading. Bongcrank just being forced back into his tower. You know, he has a wave crashing in on him right now, but he's down a little bit of CS. And there's that stupid fucking grab the ghost and I'm going to beat the shit out of you away from you. We see a charm landing on a Phoenix Blades. Cax coming in with the Wukong. And Thrifty nails the first blood with the gank coming in from top river. You love to see it if you're Tizzy in the Smash Bros.
Yeah, nicely done there. Phoenix Blades just playing a little too close to the wave, and definitely too close to that mid bush there, and it's a nice, easy gank. Thrifty had to blow the flash and ignite, but you're totally happy with that, getting the first blood here.
Absolutely. And again, especially with how the previous game between these two teams went, I know I keep harping on that, but we see Dario Chapman up a pretty substantial CS difference in the top lane here. Bongcrank will be able to get a couple of these minions as the tower picks them off, and I know he's got a wave crashing in, but he's exerting a lot of pressure there. We see good pressure in the mid lane, and we don't see that same pressure in the bot lane, though we do see MyWayne making his way down there. Albino Joe goes in, but a wonderful black shield out of Tizzy. Like you called out before, the choppers get onto Albino Joe. Candy Jack's getting some good damage there. But I think they're just going to walk away with their tail between their legs.
What the fuck?
A dark fighting out of respect out of Tizzy, and Candy Jack gets the kill even as MyWayne shows himself in lane.
Oh my god, Tizzy landing 2 bindings in a row to pick it up in the bottom lane. Wang back and forth, a little awkward there, but was not there to reinforce his team. And Tizzy and Smash Bros off to a great start here in game 1.
My fucking goodness. It's exactly like we were talking about leading into this. We needed to see good black shield usage. We needed to see good bindings, and she absolutely nailed that in multiple instances in that engagement. We see another charm out of Phoenix Blaze and just some damage coming out from Cax on top of him. Not too much to be said there, but just reminding him, hey, little fucking bomber man, I'm a monkey. I'm gonna come fuck you up if I need to.
Yeah, the pressure is exerted. Dominance in the mid lane here. Trying to keep that wave back, so Phoenix Blaze has to walk up to try to farm it. Thrifty going in, lands the charm!
And he's able to secure another kill. Oh, this is looking so good for Tizzy and the Smash Bros. And you gotta be feeling a little bit painful that you're not able to play through your strong lane, what you designed your comp around from Zed Sweaty Asol.
Yeah. Great start here for Thrifty on this Ahri, really redeeming himself. And it's not like he played Ahri bad last week. It's just unfortunate that he got the loss overall, but looking like he wants to carry this game for real now.
He hits the charm again and chunks Phoenix Blaze down to 60% health right as he's coming back to lane, just reminding him that he's there and there isn't shit he's going to be able to do without him knowing about it.
Here's some more soul slapping from Malawi in the top lane. A lot of the top and mid prio from Tizzy and Smash Bros. They're just constantly pushing these waves in, and they have the strong laners to do so. And Cax getting off a recall here. Dragon is up. Might be something they look to grab here.
That's what's kind of impressive from what Tizzy and the Smash Bros are able to do right now. Albino Joe does land it, but again, a good black shield to buy themselves some distance. Resquek going in, the exhaust down on Candy Jack, some damage being traded back and forth. Tizzy walking forward, Albino Joe tries to get the ignite, but the binding leg, and Candy is able to secure the kill onto Albino Joe. A little bit too aggressive from them. They're a little bit down in lane, and they're able to continue to go up in this pivotal lane matchup.
Oh man, that's not good for Zetsune's bottom lane. They thought they could win the extended trade. I mean, obviously you're going to get black shielded on the go-in, but they still want to go in. Respect is still autoing Candy Jack. Laid down a ton of damage there, but ultimately Tizzy once again landed the bindings. Wait! What the
binding? What the fuck?
Wait, the directed camera? Hello? No! Bye! We don't know! But MyWayne, he gets caught in mid lane.
MyWayne, we don't even have time to react. Cax is going in, he flashes. He's got his little fucking bamboo stick swinging around. He's able to get him. Phoenix Blaze whiffs the ult, gets no damage out of that. Thrifty continuing to put pressure onto Phoenix Blaze on this mid turret. What the fuck is happening with this Sweaty Asol?
It's complete destruction across the map, aside from top lane. But everywhere else, it is just complete destruction for the Smash Bros. They are looking so good here in week 5. Cax has started this dragon up. Joey on the outside of the wall here, looking to just maybe get some vision, but there's nothing to contest. Wang is just coming back from his first death of the game, and it should be first dragon secured for the Smash Bros.
Good objective control out of them, and also, I mean, first dragon secure, and we have a 4K gold differential at 9 minutes and 5 seconds, 6 kills to nothing. We have massive CS leads in the top and the mid lane. I don't know what more you could possibly ask for out of an early game for Tizzy and the Smash Bros. This is perfection from them.
Yeah.
Relative to the SBL, this is perfection. Nobody get too fucking technical on that.
Oh.
We do see Wang coming in though, ready for the gank. Tizzy gets hit. I don't think she's walking away from this one. A good Sonya's a good stopwatch out of her, but she's just gonna die to Resquek. Almost! She trades back. far enough ahead, 3-1-1 on the Morgana. A 3v2 situation turns into a 1-for-1 for what is supposed to be Zed Sweaty Asol's strongest lane.
Oh,
and we
God.
see the little taunt in the all chat from Tizzy, bye, as he sits on top of the field of bullshit and just ticks down.
Yeah. Oh my, Tizzy's looking to carry on this Morgana charm once
Another
again.
charm hit onto Phoenix Blaze.
Oh, yes, use a satchel to try to run away there, but okay, he does have a barrier and flash, so it should. He has a flash to charm. No, next one that comes in.
Absolutely.
Meanwhile, top lane. Yep. 420 Von Crank can't contest this river right now. It looks like it'll be a Rift Herald take for Tizzy and Smash Bros.
Yep, I think they're going to very easily take Rift Herald here. And you mentioned that the top lane isn't really substantially going one way over the other, but there is, as of the time... Oh, another binding from Tizzy onto Albino Joe. He just walks away, but my god, the damage output that these two have at this point in the game is just devastating. Thrifty Senpai going to secure even more or almost secure more turret plating. My Wayne coming in with the ultimate out of Maokai. Gets in onto Candy Jack, roots him back. We see the Zenith Flare land on him, and finally a kill go over to Respect. A really good gank out of My Wang, coming back knowing that he has to be there to support the bottom lane, and pays dividends for his time spent down there.
Yeah. A nice revisit to the bottom lane from Wang, and they get the angle right, and they lock up Candy Jack with the Maokai ult into some nice CC from Leona, Albino Joe, and they get the kill back onto Candy Jack, so it's a little bit something to try to salvage this bottom lane.
Bill, we see a 40 CS difference in the mid lane. We see a 20 CS difference up top. Neither of the top laners have really been able to make an impact anywhere, but they haven't had to at this point. They're just kind of playing their own game, taking their time, doing what they need to do, as Thrifty is on the verge of securing yet another plate before they fall in 2 minutes.
Yeah, oh, Cax. Nah, just a little slap. Nothing to see there. Von Crank's sort of smelling that one out, playing really safe here. Oh, Rift Herald is popped though, so this is gonna get dicey. The smash is gonna do a good amount of damage. Wang is here to reinforce it. It should be a 2v2. And
Yanks him out with the soul slapping. Oh, Albino Joe gets good hook onto Tizzy, and she's not walking away from that one, even with popping the ult and getting the field down. Candy Jack's just going to have to run away. The Zenith Flare catches him at the back end. Dario Chapman's going in, getting Bonk Crank. Candy is able to sidestep that, though. Respect's getting some good damage, but ultimately they're just going to take the kill onto Tizzy. Looked like she was trying to check Tribush down there. It's just so much going on all across the map.
Yeah. A little unfortunate face check there. Black Shield's not going to be enough to save you when you're in auto attack range of Respect on this Kai'Sa. And yeah, I mean, a little unsafe plays here, but I mean, Wang had a good gank just recently. Unfortunate face check there in the Tribush, but it's still overall a gold lead for Tizzy and Smash Bros. In the early game here.
Quite the substantial one. It's still up, I mentioned before that charm hits once again, and some good poke damage onto Phoenix Blaze. Thrifty has to be feeling himself with the accuracy of these charms onto Phoenix. It feels good when you're playing a champion that you know how to play well, when you're a player that's as good as Thrifty is, and you can just constantly hit these and pressure.
Yeah, and it must be feel really good to be on the side of the Smash Bros right now. It's, you can play through mid lane now. Thrifty with just a monstrous lead. Nearly 2k, but oh, Thrifty getting a little low there. Has to maybe walk this one back. Ziggs does have the ultimate still. Respect's gonna land. My Wang's coming in from the back, but the flanking the flanker, but Cax is looking for the end.
Cax going in, binding missing critically. Cax splits himself up, but he's got some good damage onto Albino Joe. Ult coming out of Phoenix Blaze from the mid lane, but Candy Jack getting some good damage onto My Wang, and they're just gonna kind of walk back away from that. Oh, the Respect goes in on the Tizzy, but a timely Black Shield isn't enough, like you mentioned before. Those autos from Respect just being able to put her down. And even though they started out down, they started out not doing very strongly in the bot lane, we see Respect sitting at 5-3-0 on the Kai'Sa. Unfortunately, he has all of the team's kills. Fortunately, all the team's kills are on Respect.
Yeah, and he started 1-3, I believe, and now had 4 kills in a row. Doing very good for himself right now. He's already got the Kraken Slayer completed. Berserker Greaves gonna buy a little Cloak of Agility. Right on his way to a second item over Candy Jack here.
Map pressure still significantly in the advantage for Tizzy in the Smash Bros. With two turrets down already at 15 minutes. They got a pretty substantial amount of gold out of those plates. I was just trying to mention before the fight broke out that they had closed the 4K gold lead down to about 3.5, but we're once again up to a 4.5K gold lead with the securing of that tower. But My Wang's coming in. We've seen an ult out of Bomb Crank, but I think he might have bit off more than he could chew. My Wang, though, in with the ult and able to lock Dario Chapman down and not let him get away with the damn thing, and secures the kill.
Ooh, that was a very dicey play there. It looks like Von Crank and Wang weren't on the same page necessarily. He went in with the Unstoppable Force, and Wang, I think, was already walking back. But they do still pick it up at the end of the day, so nice little teamwork combo there in the top lane.
It's exactly like we were talking about at the beginning of this cast. You know, the comfort pick, the impactful ults, his ability to be everywhere that he needs to be on the map. My Wang looking very good on this Maokai, as he has in all the games we've seen him play with it.
Yeah, looking to give some stability to his team here. 1-1 and 4 on this Maokai. He's already got the Demonic Embrace finish, so still going to be a pretty damage-heavy Maokai.
Joe. He's just going to walk away. Oh, we're so close to so many kills in the bot lane here. Jinx Rocket coming out, and Respect can sidestep the snare and walk away happy.
Yep, and the call might have been just to push him back. Yeah, we're going to push in bot lane, push in mid lane, and we should pick up a free second dragon here. Going to be an Ocean Soul, or Ocean Dragon, I should say, and pretty good one to pick up here. They're on a clock to the soul. It's been a little bit late here at 60 minutes for the second one, but that's okay. Still feeling really good about it.
Yeah, I think you definitely take being up 2 dragons, being up almost 4K or 3.5K gold, being up 2 turrets. It's starting to tilt back, not in the favor of, but less in opposition to Zed Sweaty Acel. But I definitely think we're gonna have a game on our hands here.
Yeah. Oh.
Thrifty going in, lands the charm again,
oh!
but Bonkrank coming in from behind with the ult, and he misses.
Yeah, I think Thrifty went in with the Ariel, right? So he'd already had it activated, and I don't think he even maybe purposely meant to dodge the Malphite all because Malphite was in the bush there, but yeah, nothing to see. Walk away from the mid lane, no deaths, all good.
Some clutch plays out of Thrifty. Maybe he did see it coming in. He just had that frame perfect response of being able to see the Malphite frame appear out of the top of the bushes and just say, "Oh fuck, I need to get out of here."
Yeah. Okay, should be another Rift Herald for Tizzy and Smash Bros. But Zed Sweaty Acel, they know this.
going down onto it?
Yeah, they have Ziggs ult, they have Malphite ult, they don't have Malphite ult, and that might be the ultimate decider here. Maybe not. They don't want to contest in My Wang. Just gonna take a little peek. Sees that they're doing it.
Thrifty Senpai walking his way up here, helping his team to secure it. They do get the Rift Herald. They're able to pick it up. Just good, consistent, objective control from Zed Sweaty Acel, but Zenith Lane coming down and stunning them. Respect getting really good damage onto Tizzy. She once again has the binding in the field, but it's not enough. They get caught looking at that Tribush once again, but a little bit of skirmishing as people walk away from the Rift Herald at the top, but ultimately nothing going to come of it, and we see yet another kill go on to Resqueck's Kaisa.
Yeah, I didn't see the setup there, but they got flanked. I think they got sandwiched essentially by Leona and Kaisa down there, and Candy Jack was able to get out with his life, but he had to both a heal and flash of 2 very important summoners in a potential next team fight, which this really hasn't been a full team fight yet into this game. Rift Herald summon in the top lane, gonna smash the tier 2 here. Bonkrank's gotta be careful. He's just gonna get a soul slapped a bit, and he's slowed. Oh no.
Ooh, Dario Chapman coming in with some good damage. Bonkrank gonna have to run away, and we see Shelly get another charge onto the tier 3 turret. The Zed ult is going to come down, or excuse me, the Ziggs ult is going to come down and clear away a little bit of the minions, but ultimately it doesn't do a whole lot other than ensure that the tower doesn't absolutely die, but really good pressure from the 0-1 and 0 Alawi in the top lane.
Yeah, it's a funny scoreline, but he is incredibly powerful right now. Black Cleaver in this Sheen right now, he is slapping some bitches around, dude. Look at this. I mean, he's up to nearly 7k gold here. Oh, the flash for flash.
The flash and the charm.
Nice. Good reaction out of Wang there.
My God, this is an exciting game.
Yeah, this is. It's like the next big team fight. It might really set the tone for the rest of it because ZSA Asol, this comp is
going
made
down
to front to back.
Kaisa. They just kind of walk away from it.
Yeah, but it's all up to this next big team fight here. Dragon up in a minute 20. What are the lane assignments here? Looks like they're going to send Chopman down into the bottom lane. Makes sense. He has the TP up. Probably can Jackson maybe push this long lane down.
Thrifty Senpai coming in, lands the charm onto Albino Joe, who gets grabbed out, gets his soul nabbed out by Dario Chopman. Thrifty Senpai going in again with the ult is able to get a good amount of damage onto Albino Joe and hands the kill over to Dario Chopman, getting him some much needed gold. Risquet going to make his way away from this clusterfuck of a situation on the Kaisa. Tizzy just going to kind of walk around, get ready to back. But a good pick, a good setup by Thrifty Senpai in that bot jungle, being able to pop out, surprise them, and get some gold for some more gold for Tizzy in the Smash Bros.
Yeah, and that was good, but are we going to get a little overstay from Dario Chopman?
Playing a little bit far forward against the strongest members of ZSA. Oh my God, that damage on the Kaisa. What the fuck happened to his life? Wang going to shoot the ult backwards just to buy himself some space, but ultimately, he just fucking vanished.
Yeah. Oh my God, some good damage on the way out. Wang has to walk way back here, but I think we're entering the Alawi zone, and I don't know if ZSA Asol is ready to play against that.
It really does not look like they were, considering they just decidedly lost a 2v1.
Yeah. Yeah, once you get into melee range of the Alawi in the Alawi zone, if you're a squishy, you will die. That's how this game's gonna operate now, it appears. And third dragon secured for Tizzy and the Smash Bros. They are on soul point here, 22 minutes into the game. Feeling really good about this one.
Everything looking good across the board. I mean, like you mentioned, the Kaisa's still in a really good spot for Risquet, but ultimately, if he gets caught out in any capacity, if he runs into the Alawi, if he gets knocked up, if he gets charmed, there's a good chance he's going to die before he knows what hit him. Some insane damage going down on my Wang, courtesy of the Soul Grab from Dario Chopman. Kek's going to be able to go in and secure the kill. Oh, charm coming into Bond Frank. Thrifty's able to get Respect and some damage going back, but ultimately we see a 4-0 in favor of Tizzy and the Smash Bros. Just an absurd amount of damage coming from all directions during that team fight.
Oh my God, and I think it was a 4v3 too. The bot lane for the Smash Bros was in bottom lane, picking up that tier 2 tower. They just smashed the game wide open.
Gonna see a very easy Baron take for Tizzy and the Smash Bros here. Some big shutdown gold sitting on the heads of Thrifty Senpai and Dario Chopman, but they have to be feeling so good about where they are at in this game right now.
Yeah, they are in complete control of it. Nearly a 10k gold lead overall, 5 turrets down. They have the Baron buff now. They're going to get some powerful resets here, and it should be an easy closeout. You get your lane assignments right, you buff up Baron with all the minions in the lane, and you force Zed Sweaty Asol to take a bad fight.
Absolutely. Now I want to call attention to the minimap real quick. There are a few wards down from Zed Sweaty Asol, but only one of them is on the red side. Meanwhile, from the red side, a few of them are timing out right now, but they have been able to secure so much vision and so much just control over the entire map with taking down all these towers, with being able to put pressure in every single lane. Only the mid tier 2 yet standing for them.
Yeah, and their only hope to try to weather this storm is Phoenix Blades on the Ziggs, an incredibly powerful wave clear champion. But that's it. I mean, you potentially
Charm lands onto Bonk Crank. Not much else going to happen of it. Just some good poke CC and damage from Tizzy and the Smash Bros. Trying to let the Alawi have her time in the bot lane, get some good damage onto the turret as they rotate around them. I think we are on the cusp of what I hope to be a good engagement in the jungle here. Ooh, the charm and the damage on the Phoenix Blade from Thrifty. He's able to ult out of the stun and secure the kill onto the Ziggs. That's the exact type of beginning pick that you want to see for them. Now they're going to be able to exert even more pressure in all of these pushing lanes for them. We see the Baron up, Cannon minions coming into the mid lane. The Alawi is pushing into the bottom. Top lane, don't worry about that later, but they're going to be able to do some really good damage and get into the base of Zed Sweaty Asol.
Yeah, this is a huge power play with the Baron buff here. 15 seconds still left on the death timer for Ziggs. They're gonna get the tier 3 in mid. Dire Chapman pulling everyone down here.
4 people making their way down to the Alawi. He gets rooted. And he does go down, but how many resources do they have to expend to actually kill him there?
Yeah, quite a lot. Oh no.
Oh, Candy Jack's able to take down My Wang. Resquect able to get a return kill onto Cax. Resquect going off. He's able to pop Candy Jack with the amount of damage coming down. But Thrifty Senpai and Tizzy still alive. 3v2 in favor of Zed Sweaty Asol, but their base is starting to fall apart. The middle inhibitor is down. The bottom tier 3 is down. They are going to have a hell of a time defending this on their part, and especially at this point, I think if we ever see Resquect go down, it's pretty much GG. 9 of the 10 kills on one individual who, if he gets popped, that's kind of that.
Yeah, it's kind of the game. The objective is so clear for Tizzy and the Smash Bros. To finally close this one out. And they're going to get the resets. And they're going to come back. Dragon is up in 40 seconds. They could opt to take what should be a fairly easy soul. I mean, Zed Sweaty Asol, they might just have to contest this. They might have to go for it and fight for it because they know if the soul goes over, it's surely over.
I don't know if you can afford to do that, being down the amount of gold that you are now. I mean, they're positioning Resquect in an attempt to call them out. The Ziggs is in the bot lane just trying to get some farm. He does have his ult able to call that in. Looks like they're getting their way. Bonkrank is sitting in base, but with the TP up.
Yep, looking for the ward, looking for some kind of flank ward perhaps, but the vision clearing very good from Tizzy and Smash Bros. Doesn't look like there's anything in the back. Opts to walk back. The dragon is spawned. Smash Bros, they might be able to lay a ton of damage down on this if they realize they don't see Malphite.
Some good poke damage coming out from Zed Sweaty Asol as they move into Tribe. We see the Maokai all come in ultimately. They're able to secure the dragon. A lot of damage coming out from Cax. They explode with the rocket coming in from Jinx. Tizzy has Resquect on her ass as usual. However, Thrifty Senpai in the back lane, able to zip, zap, zoom his foxy ass around and get some kills. I think that's going to be the game there, folks. And by I think, I mean if it's not, I will eat my own shorts.
Wow, a 5-for-1 at the end of the day. Incredibly chaotic fight. I mean, Zed Sweaty Asol, they have all of the big ultimate buttons, right? Malphite ult, Maokai ult, Leona ult, and they pop every single one, and they do their damnedest. Resquect actually got to the backline there, but Thrifty was there waiting. Fully farmed up 6-0 and 8 on this Ahri. A well-deserved win for Tizzy and Smash Bros. And they start off their last round robin strong.
Like we were talking about before this, I do believe they're in a position where they need to win both of their games today in order to secure a spot in the playoffs. And I think starting out today with this kind of a statement, putting yourself in this kind of mental state for the rest of the day, you couldn't be happier with how this turned out for your team. Just a great performance from basically every lane, not allowing Zed Sweaty Asol to get the early strength that they needed to be able to contest them.
Yeah. Fantastic win from Tizzy and the Smash Bros. As they move up the standings to go to 3 and 4 here. Zed Sweaty Asol now tied with them. And I believe they now have the overall tiebreaker 2v1 against Zed Sweaty Asol. So that could come in handy here as we wind down the regular season.
I believe you are correct, yes.
All right, well, let me show a couple charts here. Damage graph, Ahri, 22k damage, followed by Dario Chapman on the Alawi. Not close behind with Resquect Kaisa. So, close game overall. But that will do it here, folks, for game number 1. But don't go anywhere because we have game number 2 coming up. Tizzy and the Smash Bros. Going to try to run it back, but this time against Flex Panther. Stay tuned.
Don't go anywhere.